Hey, long time no talk. I'm Lucia, if you're new here. I took a little break from YouTube because I was so focused on growing my platform that it consumed my entire mind. I spent some time in the real world these past couple of months, and boy, was it scary. For the first time in my life, I went through my first situationship. Someone I never dated. Someone I had a slight crush on and got approached by him. Unfortunately, at a club. Someone who I was infatuated with. More the idea of him than him himself. Other than this situationship, I've only ever had one relationship in my life. A real relationship. And I've seen people talk about how getting over a situationship that lasted a short period of time is harder than getting over a whole long-term relationship. I fear that's right. Knowing what could have been hurts more than knowing that you both tried and it just didn't work out. In my case, it lasted a month. He lived in a different country. We had been texting every day for a month, called 3 times on FaceTime for hours on end. I was emotionally attached, and he knew that. Too quickly for my own good. Maybe I was just becoming addicted to the dopamine rush that I would get every time he texted me, considering it was very inconsistent. Some periods of time he wouldn't text me back for 6 to 12 hours. I would become anxious, I would be overthinking about what went wrong, and my nervous system would be on high alert. Essentially, I was panicking every other day for around a month. Then he would text back, and everything would be okay again. My parasympathetic nervous system would kick in, and I was happy. Relieved, maybe. There are so many things that were wrong about him for me. We were not a perfect match by any means, but I overlooked so many things because I really thought that I could love this man. Perhaps it was foolish thinking. Maybe it was just infatuation. Just the idea of him. But despite all the red flags and unaligned morals, I truly believed that I could love him. I knew my friends and my family would disapprove of him. I knew in my gut that it wasn't going to be the one because, hey, circumstance, he lives in a different country. I knew that my body was trying to tell me that he was wrong for me. I remember the first night that I met him, I didn't sleep at all that entire night because I was so anxious. And the next day, I didn't eat anything. Actually, that whole following week, I didn't eat much at all. And maybe that was my body's way of telling me this is wrong. My whole mood would depend on when and how he texted me. But he was so charming, so sweet, so kind. I liked the way he lit up when he saw me. I liked the way he smiled. I liked the way he treated me when it was good. And for all the good things that he did, I overlooked all the bad ones. We were supposed to go on our first date last weekend. We had been roughly planning it out for 3 weeks. We were both very excited. I had booked the weekend off to spend time with him, and the day finally came and he ghosted me, kind of. He invited me to hang out in a group setting, which was a little disappointing because I thought it was going to be a date, but I still wanted to see him. So I was down, and unfortunately, when he got into town, I didn't hear from him. He didn't tell me the plans, he didn't tell me he got here safely, he didn't tell me when or where we were going to meet up, and I was texting him, what's the plan, I was calling him too, and I was getting a little obsessive and crazy. I can, take accountability for that. At a certain point, I was just so over it, and I just wanted to see him so I could understand what happened and talk to him. And I kind of knew that it was the end. If he was ghosting me for that long, I was gonna get the message, and I didn't really care what he thought of me at that point. I actually couldn't reach him. I called him, texted him, and his phone went on Do Not Disturb. So I simply couldn't reach him. And I was panicking all day. My nervous system was on high alert for 24 hours. Didn't sleep a wink. Finally, his phone got off of Do Not Disturb while I was at the movie theater. Because I was spending the day with my sister because she was trying to cheer me up. I called, and someone else had answered the phone. Thankfully, I got in contact with him. He texted me back a couple minutes later, and he was going on and on about how he didn't know what to say, so he didn't say anything at all, that I wasn't pushing him away by the amount of times I called and texted him, that he would never ghost me, that he still wanted to see me, and we made plans to meet up at 2 a.m., which I know what you're thinking. It wasn't like that, but I, again, wanted to see him. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to get closure. So yes, I wanted to go. The plan was that he was going to call me an Uber and I would, meet up with him, spend the night. At that point, I wanted one last good night with him and I would never talk to him again. 1:30 rolled around and I confirmed the plans. That same person that picked up the phone, aka not the boy that I'm talking to, told me that he got too drunk to see me. And again, I still wanted to see him. So his friend called an Uber for me. That Uber never showed up. I waited an hour and a half for this Uber. He promised that he would call the Uber. He actually told me 10 minutes. Yeah, there'd be 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, another 35 went by and nothing. I didn't hear from him. I called him about an obsessive amount of times. I'm not gonna lie, I was so anxious and I was tired. It was 2 a.m. I texted him, said I waited an hour and a half for this Uber, didn't come, we're done. Like, we should end this because I can't wait around my whole life for you to answer me. And I would really appreciate a call to get closure. I woke up the next morning and I was blocked. I had been going insane for that past 24 hours when he was in town and waiting for him to answer me at all about our date. Getting told that he would never ghost me, to radio silence the next day. Genuinely, I don't know what happened, and the feeling that I will never get the closure I need kills me every single day. I've been crying about this for the past week, and counting. I had so much hope and trust in this boy that he would text me back, and that he wanted to see me, and that he actually genuinely liked me, that he would call me. But each day that slips by, I am proved more and more wrong. I can't get over what changed. He was just as excited as the date as I was. From his texts, from his phone calls, everything. And just like it changed, I genuinely believe that he would not purposely hurt me, that he wasn't playing me. And maybe that's me being naive. I like to think I have good judgment. Maybe I don't. But I held out hope anyway. It is so hard to get over this. Something that never happened. Someone I will never see again in my whole life. Someone I could have loved. And before him, I had already been feeling sad. Nothing excited me. My hobbies that used to bring me joy weren't bringing me joy all summer. And during this situationship, I was feeling better. I started watching movies again. I started painting, singing, taking care of myself, and life was starting to look a little bit better. And whenever he wouldn't text back, I would try to distract myself by doing these hobbies, but even though it was a distraction, I genuinely had fun doing those hobbies for most of the time. When he was ghosting me and I wasn't hearing back from him, all these hobbies and distractions weren't working. All I wanted was to hear back from him. Time was moving so slowly, and I wanted to die. Life wasn't worth living if it was gonna feel like that all the time. This felt worse than a breakup. It would be easier to hate him. It would be so much easier to be mad at him for how he treated me, for how he ended things, to forget that he existed. But that's not who I am. The time that I'm writing this, or I guess filming this, it's been 3 days since the breakup, though we weren't never together. I still care so much for this boy. I still wish the best for him, and I hope he'll be happy. I hope he finds the girl that he's willing to better himself for. And I'm sad that it's not gonna be me. I don't have it in my bones to hate him. I have it in me to wish him the worst. And I wish I could tell him that. Part of me believes that he ghosted me because it's the easy way out. I mean, why else do people ghost? He never really knew what to say. He avoided phone calls a lot because he thought he was really awkward, and maybe he's worried that if we called, he wouldn't know what to say, he wouldn't have an answer, or he would see that he made me upset. and he would feel bad. I simply don't know why he didn't want to call. And the reality is, I will never know why he wouldn't allow me to have closure. This is a very odd video back to YouTube, and I don't make this to discourage people from dating or to trash on this guy or to trash on me for entertaining him. I don't know what I'm doing with my time anymore. I had just been thinking about him a lot. I used to do YouTube with the intention of making a career out of it, and after my break, I don't care about that anymore. I do know that most of my subscribers are from ASMR, which I no longer do, so there will be some unsubscriptions. I also know that a lot of people that are subscribed forgot that I existed after my little break, who will unsubscribe when they see this video, but that's okay. I need to put my energy into somewhere else and something that makes me happy. So I guess I'm back for whenever that is. And I find that talking about my situationship makes it hurt a little less. For future Lucia, who may be watching this video, and to anyone that might be going through something similar, I hope you don't let this person ruin your hope for a future relationship. I feared that this experience would make me close my heart forever when I get to know someone with the intention of marrying them. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and it can be so easily crushed. I love hard. I'm very chalant. I feared that after this experience I would close that part off of me forever, to lose hope in people. I hope you never lose your goodness because of another person. I hope you find your spark again. One thing that I learned from this situationship, as much as I feel alone in my life, period, not even from the situationship, I have such a good support system. I'll always have my family. I don't have many friends, but I do have the ones that are close to me. Sometimes people just aren't ready for a relationship. And to be direct, this has been one of the hardest things I've had to get through in my life. The 2 days that I spent with this guy were some of the best in my life. Very good memories, very out of character memories for me, and unfortunately I'll just have to forget them. As time moves on, time will heal all. It's hard to believe that in the moment, but I know that will be true. Ghosting was just his form of fear. I will see you next week, or soon. I don't know, but I will be back on YouTube, so feel free to unsubscribe. I'm just gonna do this to have some fun. Bye!